welcome to today's lesson. We are going to be talking about the signs of a charismatic character, and these can be found from the skin ridge patterns. You might be aware fingerprints never change, and it goes the same for the skin ridge patterns. So this is an example reading as well, sent to me from a person who donated their photos for this purpose. And let's take a look at that, shall we? And on both hands, he has the loop of humour, the loop of seriousness, and the Rajah loop. Between the index and middle finger is the Rajah loop. That is the one that shows a charismatic personality. In my next drawing, I've attempted to draw what the loops look like because you can't really see them in this photo without zooming right in. Okay, and here they are. So the Rajah loop, loop of seriousness, and a whorl of humour. On the left hand, it was a loop of humour by the look of it, but on the right hand, but on the left hand, it is a whorl of loop. So I'll talk about those two first before I go into the Rajah loop, which is the main topic of this video, is the Rajah loop. Now first we'll talk about the loop of seriousness. This loop is basically what it says. It is someone who takes matters seriously. They can keep their feet on the ground, they have common sense, and they have a desire to help others. They actually like working. It's a kind of a sign that if they are doing a job, they're enjoying their work. They'd rather work than sit around and do nothing at all. And that is a really good sign. Now, together with the whorl of humour, when you have a loop of humour or whorl of humour, that gives you a slightly offbeat sense of humour, a little bit of a different sense of humour. Obviously, if you don't have this, you can still have a sense of humour, but this gives a slightly different type of humour. They enjoy laughter, they enjoy having time out. Can't be all work, there has to be play, so they might enjoy their weekends off if they've worked hard during the week. So when it's together with the loop of seriousness, that gives like a bit of a sarcasm, that's the word. They might have a sharp tongue, they might be able to quickly come up with something to say back sarcastically. So it's like a sarcastic sense of humour. And also the whorl of humour instead of a loop, some palmists say that that gives the ability or talent for languages. Some say it is a love of animals. So this person will know if they have a talent for languages or if they have a love of animals. Either way, they most likely will have a different sense of humour. Okay, now we'll talk about that Rajah loop, which is the main sign on this hand that shows a charismatic character. I have not seen this very often, although I'm lucky to say that my son has one, so I can understand many of the traits that come with this sign. So traditionally, it's said to show royal blood in the family history, but I've not been able to confirm that at all. What I do know is that it's also called the loop of charisma, and that depicts a strong character, someone who's actually very intuitive. They're entertaining, charismatic, people admire them, they have a lot of energy about them. So they can be a source of inspiration to other people from their enthusiasm. I think everyone is inspired to, you know, hang out with them or whatever. So somebody with this sign, careers that might suit them could be somebody like a teacher, a writer, a musician, an artist, someone who can inspire other people. Whatever talent is present though, don't ignore the talents, because the energy that's available will definitely help other people. So there's a lot of positive things to say about that sign. Some somewhat negative that come with the Rajah loop is they can be domineering, a little bit arrogant, which is good in a way that can suit leadership roles. So whatever talent they have or whatever career they choose, maybe they will find their way at the top at some point because of that leadership quality that comes with it. So sometimes their arrogance can be a little bit misunderstood. I think they really mean well and they're a little bit impulsive, so people might take them the wrong way. That's what I mean by misunderstood. If they jump the gun with their words, for example. Sometimes they might change their jobs a lot. They might have mood swings. They have very high expectation of themselves, which on the downside, they also have a high expectation of the people around them. So the people around them should be tough characters. So the weak characters, or I don't know if weak is the right word, but somebody a little bit more quiet and down to earth, sort of an introverted type, is probably not the right types to be hanging out with someone with a Rajah loop, because they are so charismatic. So what do you think about that? Let me know if you have a Rajah loop and tell me a little bit about your personality, because it's a very interesting mark to have and quite rare, I believe. All right, let's move on to one more section here, and that would be a little bit of reading the lines on the hand. So first of all, the age is 26, which I will mark in purple on the fate line. The age of 26 is around about here, a little bit higher, actually a little bit higher, I apologize. So there is a kind of a stress line prior to that age. So maybe this person might have been through some stress before his age now, but because the fate line continues beyond that stress line, it shows that it was only a temporary obstacle. What I've also marked here, these green arrows, is showing the lifeline begins separate from the headline, which shows a very independent nature. Again, another sign of a charismatic personality, by the way. However, the line is very chained and fuzzy in appearance, a little bit dark, so that the past is a little bit dark or messed up. If the line is messed up, maybe in the past something was a little bit messed up. Not normally this, the chaining is not normally this long. Don't worry, it's normal to have the chaining in the very beginning of the line, say maybe to about that distance. As the person is growing and maturing, they're not sure who they are, what they're doing, but once you get to the teenage years, it should start to sort of smooth out. But in this case, the lines are still quite fuzzy right through to maybe the age of maybe 20, 21-ish. But then they start to smooth out. There is some rising lines which are good. They show ambition or achievement lines. and the line is nice and smooth after that with the potential, pardon me, there's potential travel lines there as well later in life. So back to the career line. So here we have this little black line I've marked next to the blue fate line is a mark that is potentially a very supportive partner coming up very soon, right around the age of maybe 27, 28, coming up is either a potential partner, supportive partner, or some more study. If the person has studied, sorry, I don't know if they've studied. There could be study, it could be doing a couple of different things, possibly in order to make change in the career. There are more worry lines which act like an obstacle. These worry lines do not seem to affect the career. The career line, which is the light blue line, continues nicely along. So they are temporary obstacles because they end at the heart line, however. That shows that these worry lines are regarding the emotions. So there is some sort of emotional issues that might get slightly in the way in general. However, they are not a huge concern because there is a nice success line growing from the age of 50. In the red and in the dark blue is evidence of, some people call it a money line, some people call it a business line. Whatever you call it, this line can indicate someone who might be either good at making money or they can make money from business. The extra success lines up here that look like a trident are also a very good sign because it shows various directions that there might be some kind of a success in. It might be someone, just an example, might be a writer who also makes money from their videos, might be somebody who is an actor who also makes money from other part of their career. But it's a good sign to have that there is possible multiple sources of income towards the later in life. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of a reading, and I look forward to doing more. If you've got some strange or unusual lines, I would love to hear from you. Go into my website and go in the contact me section and we'll take it from there. Thanks very much. See ya, bye.